Hello students, I welcome you all to the e-learning sessions of automotive engineering, and today we will discuss about the subject of automotive electricals and electronics. Fine. So in this lecture, the different types of energy storage devices are actually presented. I hope you will see this video till the end to completely understand this topic and gain your skills in automotive engineering. Fine. I request you to note down any queries during the lecture if it arises and ask it in a comment section. I will try to solve all the queries as soon as possible. Fine. So let's start our video. So which are these main topics? So first topic will be overview of the battery. Thereafter we will learn battery parameters. Thereafter we will see different types of batteries like lead acid battery, then lithium ion batteries, dry batteries, thereafter alkaline batteries, metal air batteries like aluminum air batteries. Okay. Thereafter we will see battery charging and discharging also. Okay. So let's first see the basic overview of these batteries. So what is that? So from the electric vehicles designer's point of view, the battery can be treated as a black box which has a range of performance criteria. Okay, this criteria will be included it will include the different parameters like specific energy, energy density, specific power, typical voltages, or you can say ampere hour efficiency, thereafter energy efficiency, commercial availability, cost, operating temperatures, thereafter self discharge rate, number of life cycles and recharge rates. Okay, so these are the main parameters that we have to look for. Now the designer also need to understand how energy availability varies with regards to different conditions like at ambient temperature, thereafter charging and discharging rates, thereafter what is the battery geometry, thereafter optimum temperature solutions, thereafter charging methods and cooling needs. So however, at least a basic understanding of a battery chemistry is very important to otherwise the performance and the maintenance which is required, or you can say requirement of this performance is of a different types, and the most of the disappointment connected with the battery use such as their limited life, thereafter self discharging, thereafter reduced efficiency at higher currents, etc. Fine. So these are the problems that we are actually currently facing. Okay. So now let's see the different parameters of the battery. That was the overview. Now let's see about the parameters. So parameters are cell and battery voltages. So all electrical cells have nominal voltages which gives the approximate voltage when the cell is delivering the electrical power. Okay. The cells can be connected in a series to give the overall voltage requirement. Okay. The internal resistance of the battery and the equivalent circuit of the battery is actually shown here in a figure. You can see this figure. Okay. So the battery is represented as having the fixed voltage, you can say E, but the voltage at the terminal as a different voltage, it is actually shown as a V. So because of the voltage across the internal resistance R, we are assuming that the current I is flowing out from the battery as it is shown in figure. Then by basic circuit theory we can say that voltage equal to E minus IR. Okay. Now what is charge capacity? The electric charge that a battery can supply is clearly a most crucial parameter. Okay. The SI unit of this is a coulomb, the charge when 1 ampere flows for 1 second. Okay. The capacity of the battery might be, you can say 10 ampere hours. This means it can provide 1 ampere for 10 hours. Okay. This is a simple example that I have given. Thereafter energy stored. So the energy stored in a battery depends on its voltage. Okay. And it is also depends on the charge stored. The SI unit is joule, but this is an unconventionally small unit, and so we are using the watt into hour in this manner. So watt into hour equal to voltage into ampere hour. Okay. Next is specific energy. So it is the amount of electrical energy stored for the every kilogram of the battery mass, and it is shown by the watt hour per kg. Next is energy density. So it is the amount of electrical energy stored per cubic meter of battery volume, and it is shown by watt hour per meter cube. per cubic meter. Okay. Now next is specific power. So specific power is the amount of power obtained per kilogram of battery. So it is the highly variable and rather the depend on quantity, since the power given out by the battery depends far more upon the load connected to it and the battery itself. Okay. Next is ampere hour efficiency. So in an ideal world, a battery would return to the entire charge put into it, in which case the ampere hour efficiency should be 100%. However, no battery has it. Okay, its charging efficiency is always less than 100% due to some technical problems. So the precise value will vary with different types of battery, temperature and the rate of charging. Okay, it will also vary with the state of charge. Done. Next is energy efficiency. So this is the another very important parameter, and it is defined as the ratio of electrical energy supplied by a battery to the amount of electrical energy required to return to its state before the discharge. So this is its definition. Next is self-discharge rates. So most batteries discharge when left unused, okay, and this is known as the self-discharging. So this is important as it means some batteries cannot be left for a long period without recharging. Okay, the rate varies with the battery type, with other factors such as temperature, thereafter ambient temperature, high temperatures, working temperatures, surrounding temperatures, etc. So it will actually increase the self discharge rate. Next is battery temperature, heating and the cooling. Okay, so what are that needs? So although most batteries run at the ambient temperature, some run at a higher temperatures and need heating to start with and then cooling when in use. Okay, in others battery performance drops off at a lower temperatures also, which is actually very undesirable. Okay, but this problem could be overcome by heating the battery. Okay, so when choosing a battery, the designer needs to be aware of battery temperatures, heating and cooling needs, and he has to take this into consideration during the vehicle design process. Fine. So this was all about the battery parameters. Now battery life and number of deep cycles. Okay, this is also one parameter. Now most rechargeable batteries will only undergo a few hundred deep cycles to 20% of the battery charge. However, the exact number depends on the battery type and also on the details of the battery design, okay, and on how the battery is actually using, okay, is currently in use. So this is very important figure in a battery specification, as it reflects in a lifetime of the battery, which in turns reflect in a electric vehicle running cost. Okay, so these are the main parameters of the battery. Now let's discuss about the battery rating in very brief. So in simple terms, the characteristics or rating of the particular battery are determined by the how much current it can produce and how long it can sustain this current. Simple. Okay, the rate at which a battery can produce a current is determined by the speed of chemical reaction. Okay, so this in turn is determined by the number of different factors. Okay, so which are these factors? Like surface area of the plates, then temperature, then electrolyte strength and the current demand. So it depends on all these factors. Now the actual current supplied therefore determines the overall capacity of a battery. Okay, the rating of the battery has to specify, or you can say has to specify the current output and the time. So this is the real rating. Now first is ampere hour capacity. So this is now seldom used but describes how much current the battery is able to supply for either 10 hours or 20 hours. Okay, the 20-hour figure is the most common. Okay, for example, a battery quoted as being 44 ampere hour. So what is the meaning of this? If it is fully charged, it is able to supply 2.2 ampere for 20 hours before completely discharging. Okay, so this is the real meaning of 44 ampere hour battery. Next is reserve capacity. A system used now on all the new batteries is a reserve capacity. This is the most important. Okay, this is quoted as the time in minutes for which the battery will supply 25 ampere at 25 degrees centigrade to the final voltage of 1.75 volt per cell. This is used to give a identification of the how long battery can run the car if the charging system is not working. Typically a 44 ampere hour battery will have a reserve capacity about the 60 minutes. Okay. Next is cold cranking amperes. So what is that? Now batteries are given a rating to indicate the performance at high current output and at low temperatures. Okay. A typical value of 170 ampere means that the battery will supply this current for the 1 minute at the temperature of 18 degrees centigrade, at which point the cell voltage will fall to the 1.4 volt. Okay. Note here that the overall output of the battery is much greater when spread over a longer time. Okay. As mentioned, this is because of the chemical reaction that can only work at the certain speed. Okay. So these are all the parameters. So that's it in today's video. We have discussed about the basics of battery in automobiles. Okay. And we have also discussed about the different parameters of the battery. Fine. Now if you have any query, you can also contact me or you can share it in a comment. So in next sessions what we will do, we will actually move to the different types of batteries that we are actually going to learn. Now what are the different types of batteries? So the batteries will be lithium ion batteries, thereafter lead acid batteries, alkaline batteries and dry batteries. Okay. So these are all the batteries that we will learn. Thereafter we will learn about the battery charging and discharging, and thereafter we will learn about the how to test the battery, means the gravimetric tests and other tests for the battery. So you can understand by just seeing or by watching the battery that either it is in running condition or it is in not working condition. Fine. So that's it in today's session. We will meet in next session. Till then, keep learning. Bye.